Baltimore Ravens got a triple dose of good news before they take on the Buffalo Bills on Sunday Night Football. Welcome into the show, everybody. I am your host, Joey Peterson. Really appreciate you guys being here. We'll get into all of our news items very shortly, but before that, I need you guys to do one thing for me, and I need you guys to prove my coworker wrong, okay? Our Steelers Talk host, Jack Sperry, who I hate, mind you, he bet me that we couldn't get 400 likes on this video. I said, Sperry, do you not see that my guys, my boys, my girls, we do that all the time? He didn't want to hear it. Help me prove him wrong. Like the video. He loves the Steelers. We hate the Steelers. We hate him. Hit that thumbs up button, okay? So the first of the triple dose of good news is that the Buffalo Bills have a big weakness in terms of their defense. Now, what that weakness is, you ask? Glad you asked, because I'm going to tell you. They rank 30th in the National Football League against the power run. Here comes another rhetorical question. Joey, what is the power run? Well, again, really glad you asked that question that time. Let's go to the definition of it. The power run is a gap scheme run that creates movement with double teams at the point of attack while wrapping a lineman to the play side to create a numbers advantage. Ultimately, power creates movement, and a double team on the play side has some form of a kickout block and gets a lead blocker through the resulting play side hole. Basically, it looks exactly like this, right? And it's not always ran out of this formation, right? There can be multiple different ways that this is run out of. However, this is what it means. It means the guard pulls to the power side, the side you're running at. The fullback or lead blocker leads right in that same hole, and then you're just full steam ahead. Derrick Henry, go follow freaking Patrick Ricard and see how many yards you can get. That's what the power run is. And that's what Baltimore ran a ton against Pittsburgh. And that's what, Buffalo's not very good at defending, okay? And speaking of that Pittsburgh game, let's just look at this picture for a second. This was one of the many times that we were in this formation. Josh Jones freaking came in. Reporting is eligible. Stop me if you heard that before, okay? And if you look at the left side of that offensive line, Josh Jones, Ronnie Stanley, Patrick McCarry, some big boys. Then you go Tyler Linderbaum Center, Daniel Faalele, Roger Rosengarten, and then you have Charlie Kolar at that right side tight end spot. Then you got Isaiah Likely as an extra blocker, and there's Pat Ricard in the block as well. Okay? They went to this formation time and time again. And you know what it resulted to, ladies and gentlemen? It resulted in a lot of points. It resulted in a lot of rushing touchdowns. It resulted in a lot of rushing yards. It resulted in a lot of success. And the thing is, I'm going to bring us back to the original point, is that Buffalo ranks 30th in the National Football League in stopping the power run. We're going to talk about that more in just a little bit, but I got to ask you a question. I need you to take a guess for me, okay? How many rushing touchdowns will the Ravens score on Sunday, okay, against the Buffalo Bills? How many rushing TDs? Because I think a lot. I want you to take a guess for me in the comment section down below. Let me know. This tweet came from Josh Norris. He said the Ravens went with multiple tight ends or both on 89%, multiple backs or tight ends or both on 89% of their snaps on Wild Card Weekend against the Pittsburgh Steelers. 50 carries, 299 yards, 6 yards a carry, mind you. This season, the Bills' defense used base personnel on just 3.6% of snaps, the lowest rate in the league. In fact, they ran dime 6 DBs, a lighter kind of formation, 16% of snaps. Now, let's throw it back to week 4, because in week 4, when the Bills lost 35-10 to the Ravens used multiple running backs, tight ends, or both, just like last week against Pittsburgh, a lot, 75% of the snaps. And the Bills went base 24.6% of snaps. And the Ravens rushed for 247 yards. So something's going to have to change for Buffalo, right? They're going to have to load that box. And I think that they will. We talked about the other day, they have a lot more pieces back on their defense than they did the last time these two teams played. But still, at some point, you just got to ask the question. Is it possible to stop a formation with Josh Jones, Ronnie Stanley, Patrick Mekari on the left side, then Daniel Faalele, Roger Rosengard, and Charlie Kolar and Isaiah Likely with Pat Ricard at the fullback, Derrick Henry at the running back, or Derrick Henry at the running back? Is that possible? We'll see on Sunday. If you want to see for yourself in person on Sunday, I reckon you should use our friends over at Game Time, because today's show is sponsored by Game Time. The new year brings a lot of great things: friends, food, celebration, but most importantly, the playoffs. And there is nothing that can quite compare to the feeling that you get watching your team win a playoff game, either at home or on the road. And if you want to have that memory for the rest of your life, that's where Game Time can help out. Game Time has an awesome new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats. That way you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals for the highest value seats at the time. For some events, Game Time Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. Guys, there's so many things I love about Game Time. I love the last minute tickets. I love the views from your seat, okay? Can't tell you how many times I've been to a sporting event and there's something in my way, and you pay a whole lot of money to go see your favorite teams play, and something is blocking your view. It's absolutely maddening, and that does not happen with our friends at Game Time. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and redeem code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. The link to the promo is in the comments and description of today's video. So the second part of the good news, right? Because there's 3 doses. 1, 2, 3, we're on the third, is that Allen has a pretty tough history against the Baltimore Ravens. Okay? Week 4, let's look at those statistics. 55.2% completion percentage, 180 pass yards, 20 rush yards, 0 total touchdowns. He only had 200 combined yards, didn't have a single touchdown, had a 55% completion percentage. Okay? And I know what you're thinking, right? You're saying, Joey, anybody can pick one game from any quarterback and just say, you know what? That quarterback sucks against that team. And you're right. You could do that with any quarterback. Freaking Joe Montana, Tom Brady, I don't care who it is. You could find something like that. But the thing about Allen is that this has kind of been a trend. And I get it. These teams have only played 4 times, but still, he's averaging a 53.2% completion percentage, 186 yards a game. He's only had 3 total passing touchdowns and only had 1 interception. Okay? And so you're kind of scratching your head and you're kind of thinking, okay, maybe this is, I don't want to say normal, but maybe this is kind of the theme. Maybe this is what Josh Allen does against the Baltimore Ravens. And you got to hope that's true this time, okay? Because Zach Orr, I can't say enough good things about what he's done for this defense. I can't say enough good things for what he's done in the turnaround of this team. But that needs to continue. He needs to have his best day as a defensive coordinator on Sunday, because you're still going up against Josh Allen. You're still going up against James Cook. You're still going up against one of the best offensive lines in the country. Nothing needs to be taken for granted. Nothing needs to be overlooked. You need to go balls to the wall. And I know Zach Orr could do it, okay? He's had an amazing turnaround. So if you think Lamar is better than Josh Allen, which every single statistic I just read to you should indicate that, then do me a favor. Like the video. Hit that thumbs up button to show me you think Lamar is better than Allen. Let's go to number 3. The third dose of good news, the third of the triple, is that, you know what? These refs, they kind of had the tendency to swallow the whistle. Carl Cheffers or Chieffer, I don't know what it is, Cheffers, I'm going to call him Carl Cheffers. He has been the referee, he's been assigned to be the referee of this game on Sunday night. His total count of penalties, 180, least in the NFL. His total yards, 1,448. That is the second least in the NFL. His total flags, 222. That is the 4th least in the NFL. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? That is a fantastic sign for this Baltimore Ravens team, because they tend to get a lot of penalties. In fact, they lead the NFL in most categories when it comes to penalties. And when you look at the penalties and losses, and I know it, we've seen this graphic a ton. I've showed you this graphic a ton, but that's because it's important. You can see every loss this season outside of the Eagles game, so 80% of them, you could point to penalties being a problem. Okay, the good thing is last week in the wild card round, penalties weren't a problem. You only had 3 for 14 yards. However, this isn't the first time you've seen Carl Sheffers before. He's reffed a game for you. That was against Los Angeles. And if anybody remembers the end of that game, man, it was a penalty shit show to say the least. 9 penalties total, 102 yards, okay? And so he has a tendency to swallow the whistle. Unfortunately, he didn't do it in the one time he could have for Baltimore, but we're hopeful things will change this time around. Thanks so much for tuning in. Before you get out of here, I need you to do something for me. I'm going to set the over-under. This is going to be in the comment section. 6.5 penalties for the Ravens. You let me know. O for over, U for under, and we'll see you tomorrow.